So, when we last left our heroes, we had the privilege of meeting 3 young characters. Angie, a young rapscallion of a pigeon who'd been living on the streets for some time and has been figuring out how to make her way. We had Blueberry, the ball python, a small homebody, a pet who had been tossed asunder by the parents of her once owner, Lucy. And we met Shu, a tiny bat with a potentially shady past who has been teaming along with Angie, trying to find her way. The 3 of you met each other in a back alley where there was a pastry chef who was very good to y'all. You stumbled upon something happening with some soldiers escorting him out and decided to investigate it. You found some papers, you didn't understand exactly what they mean. The letter was essentially a military document, and then it had the letterhead of Lucy's family home. And you made your way through the city to the outskirts of the city with the goal of talking to Lucy to try to potentially help this chef not have to be conscripted into military service. The 3 of you stand outside of Lucy's family estate, the Carino family. There are large walls that have thick thorn bushes, so they're hard to see through, that climb up almost infinitely into the sky above your heads. From the street, there appears to be one entrance, a large wrought iron gate with a guardhouse. And sitting in that guardhouse, you see one guard who seems to be paying no attention, his massive form leaning over a human book. He just seems to be reading. He's protected by an awning from the rain. And lying down next to him, ears perched up, kind of twitching around like little radar dishes, is a large black Doberman Pinscher.
Oh, is that gonna be a new friend that we can hug?
Probably not, actually. I've not had much luck with dogs that look kind of that professional. You know what I mean?
Oh, they have jobs.
Professional. I don't know how to get inside. Maybe if we talk to the dog.
Give a gift. I think I have some crumbs left. And she will pull down her small beret. I think I have like 1 cupcake crumb left that fits in like her palm.
Listen, I've seen plenty of people trying to talk to dogs before, and it's not gone too well. But if you want to try and talk to him, then just make sure you can vamoosh quick smart. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Oh, look. Do you think we can sneak by?
Oh, yeah. We're very quiet, and if we only use our toes, or she'll look at Blueberry, our belly?
Yeah. We'll be
One
okay. Long toe.
A long toe. Yeah.
One long toe.
You have a very long toe. I'm learning so much about snake anatomy.
Snakes are just a single long toe.
It's so uncomfortable to think of.
I'm kind of sneaky, but I'm not like the most sneaky. But
Oh, I'm sneaky.
you're really sneaky. What about you, Shu? How sneaky are you?
No. I can try.
Because I think I know how to do it. If I ruffle my feathers just right, I can make like a load of dust come up, right? And then it'll like obscure their vision and we can like sneak through.
We should definitely do that. That sounds like a brilliant idea. I love that.
All right.
That's really good.
Okay. I am DM gonna cast fog cloud, if I may.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So Angie is going to kind of tiptoe a little bit kind of like behind the dog, like so I'm not kind of quite right in front of him. And then and just like fluff up all her feathers and then just create this little like cloud, and she's gonna kind of waft it with her wings towards them.
Okay.
I can taste it already.
The human guard pays no mind. He's just looking at his book. But the dog, you see its ears like two strange stalks erupting out of the top of the fog.
I just imagine like Jaws, like the shark fin.
All of you feel it. As this massive dog's body sort of shifts. And all of you at the same time just hear this deep, slow voice. No one may enter here. It has not seen you, but it knows something is up. What would you like to do?
I think if I tiptoed around and regrouped with the others, just have to be real quiet. And
How quiet?
Shh. His ears are like fucking satellite dishes, alright? So we gotta be gotta tiptoe towards and through the gate. I think Blueberry will be alright. They ain't got feet, so they won't make noise when they move around. But we've got feet.
I'm just gonna do the tip part.
Okay.
All right. If everybody could give me some stealth checks, please.
That's a 20 for Blueberry.
I got a 15.
I got a nat 20.
Oh yes!
Okay.
Hey, let's go.
Turns out you just see little Shoe on all fours just doing the little back crawl across the ground.
Amazing.
This is not army crawl, back crawl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thumbs and knees, I feel like, or thumbs and toes. The three of you, hearing that noise, feeling the weight of this creature, make your way into the fog. As you move sort of blindly, Shu probably is more helpful here in sort of helping get through the actual fog. As you get close to this dog, moving past it, you can see its size, and it is massive. You're walking past like one of its feet that is just sort of scratching and turning slowly in the gravel, and it's larger than you. And as you make past it and break the fog on the other side, you hear it say again, "I know you're out there!" And it start lunging towards you, its nose barely making it out of the fog when it stops. And you hear a human behind it, wah, 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 wah. And it sort of sinks back into the fog and goes and lays back with its guard. In front of you now is a large open courtyard. It is still raining, but beyond the wall, the sounds of the city really fade. There are huge rose bushes. There is an old willow tree on one side with a swing under it, a pear tree on the other in front of an almost plantation-style home with one of those big double porches and huge columns in front. Blueberry, you have been out here on a number of occasions, regardless of whether or not Lucy's parents like her taking the snake outside. So you're familiar with the courtyard. You would know that there is the big front door gate. There are trellises that go up the side of the house. And there is a glass atrium that extends out behind the house with like a garden area that has doors and windows as well. There do not appear to be any other people out here. And it seems like for whatever reason, whatever strange words that human spoke, the dog was called back to its side.
Oh, dogs are bilingual. Sorry, it took my brain a second to be like, oh, yeah.
That was really close. Oh,
So that's not going to be our new family member, right?
no. No, let's, I don't know if we'll be able to get the door open, to get inside. But there might be another way through the glass-kept jungle area on the other side of the house.
Do I know which window is Lucy's?
Oh, yeah. Back one on the right, near the trellises and the glass atrium.
Fucking perfect.
Could we just go into one of the rooms, maybe?
I know where Lucy's room is.
Would she answer?
Maybe. I haven't seen her in a while, but we should probably avoid the big humans. Yeah, if we can't get into the glass aquarium that they hold the plants in, we could try to get to her window.
Well, if we're trying to get to her anyway, should we just try and get to her window?
Let's do it.
All right, lead the way. You know where we're going.
You hear a sound like thunder as the front door opens. This massive oak door. And you see some figures you haven't seen in a long time. You see Lucy's parents.
Oh, I try to hide.
They are dressed to the nines. Her mom is wearing a large fur. Her dad in almost like an archaic tuxedo robe. And they are talking to one of the servants. A carriage, like a tank engine, piles up the road, and they pop open some umbrellas and storm past you guys. They don't pay any mind to a couple creatures standing in the shrubbery. And they get into the carriage, and the door swings closed.
Oh, they're big.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have to worry about them anymore, though, because they just left.
Are there other big humans in there then?
The ones that do what those two say.
Oh.
Well,
But I think it'll be fine. They might recognize me. I'm kind of a big deal. Sometimes when I'm with Lucy, so.
Perfect.
So the door is closed.
Mm-hmm.
What if we knock on the door?
listen, I'm game to try. If you would like to have a go at knocking on the front door, see what happens.
Oh, maybe it's safer just to go to Lucy's window.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how many other big people, big humans are in there.
Let's say, plan A, we go up to the window. Plan B, we come back and knock on the door.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Make your way around the side of the house. Take the long journey where you see, in the backyard, you see two things. One, you see a fairly large yard with a very nicely kept garden, but it looks like it is mostly a flower garden outside. And then there is this huge, basically glass box affixed to the side of the house. You can't see in super clearly. There's no lights on in it at all. And you can see leaves and vines sort of pressed up against the edges.
It's a cage for plants. Plant jail.
Plant jail. And then right next to that, you see trellises that go up the side of the house with thick ivy running up them. And Lucy's window is on the adjacent wall. So if you were to climb up, there would be a bit of a jump or a climb you would need to do to get to her ledge. It is about 20 feet up.
That's a lot of feet for tiny animals.
Yeah.
Well, I think it looks like we're climbing.
Okay.
I mean, Shoo, you could probably fly up there, so you'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
And Blueberry, I think you'll be all right. Even though you ain't got any hands or legs, you can climb pretty fucking well. I'll be all right. I'll manage.
Are you
Some
sure?
pigeon climbing up a tree.
So how's everybody getting up? Shu, are you flying?
I am flying. I'm gonna stay close to the side of the building though, like go straight up.
All right. Easy enough to do. You flap your way up and grab onto the ledge. You can look down and see your friends, and you can see into the window, and you can see a room lights off. Can't really see into it super well.
While we're waiting, can I just stick my face into the window, like just that's
Yeah.
just kind of smeared along the side.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, it's a 3.
A 3.
I have blind vision of
So blind vision will help a little bit here.
not with the 3 though.
Not with the 3, though. So you can see the basic makeup of a human room. You see there's a large, soft square very close to the window. There are some cabinets, and there's just lots of odd little objects that are like in the shape of animals but aren't animals. And for the briefest moment, you feel like you see something moving in the darkness of the room. Something larger than you. Something hiding. Blueberry. How are you making up? You're climbing up the trellises?
I'm climbing up the trellises through the ivy.
All right. Give me a acrobatics check.
It's a 9.
A 9.
Oh no.
As you are making your way up the trellises through the ivy, this ivy's got some thorns. So unfortunately, you get some scratches as you make your way up. And you take... Well, that's not so bad. You take 5 piercing damage from thorns.
Oh.
But eventually you do make your way most of the way up and just about there. And Angie, let me get a roll from you. Athletics check, please. Unless you're doing something else.
I don't know what else I could do. What's I gonna say? Athletics, okay? A 9.
You make your way about halfway up. And it is hard. You're a young, spry little bird still, so you've got the energy of youth and the fortitude of mind. But you slip. And you start to fall. Shu and Blueberry, you see this happen.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna wrap my tail around a piece of vine, and I'm gonna throw myself off and dive down for Angie, and hope there's enough vine to make it to her and try to. I don't really know what I'm gonna. I'm sorry.
Right,
Angie.
you could bite into
I'm gonna
me.
try to bite you. I'm gonna try to latch on you.
All right, so I'm going to give you a choice here. You can either do this like a weapon attack or a acrobatics check.
Like I could do it as a dagger attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do that. And that's a 22.
All right. You, quick to react, wrap your tail around Indiana Jones style, like when he's chopping the bridge, and then dive down, your little fangs out, and you snap onto Angie's wing.
Yeah! I'm sorry.
Angie, you take 3 piercing damage
Oh, that's okay.
as you feel Blueberry's little fangs bite into you, and the two of you are now sort of hanging, swinging like a pendulum. Slowly, you are able to pull up and sort of using your ball pythonness, twist yourself up and get Angie the rest of the way to the ledge. The 3 of you are now on the window ledge, and there is the glass in the dark room.
I saw my life flash before my eyes.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that bite.
I saw my mama. I saw my nest.
Oh,
I'm alright. I'm okay. Anyway, what we doing? Right. How we gonna get? Dunk dunk dunk.
Sure. What do you see in there?
I didn't see really anything, but kind of animals, but not animals. And I think I see someone's head, but I'm not sure. It could also not be that.
Angie just looks up against the glass as well, just like.
Oh, yeah.
see.
Can we get it right up to the glass?
Yeah, sure. Any of you can make perception checks if you want to.
All right. 15.
Oh, 9.
9.
9.
I mean, you know Lucy's room really well. It doesn't look that different from when you saw it before. So even with a 9, you're not getting much new information, but her room looks, at least from this perspective, pretty much the same. A little bit messy. All of her little trophies that she was so proud of up on her desk. All of the different creatures that you used to hang out with that aren't really animals, all her stuffed animals and her little toys and those strange little blocks that she would sometimes connect together to build little towers that you would smash. And also drawings all over the place. Bits of paper with like half drawings of animals or of you or of trees or of her parents just sort of all over her desk and on the floor.
Is there any sign of her in her bed?
With a 9, you can't really tell, but what you do notice, which is not normally the case, is her door is open.
This is the right room.
Do we knock nice? Do you have like a secret password?
No, I don't. I think if we just make enough noise, maybe she'll hear us.
And I'll take my tail and whack.
Right before you whack your tail against the glass, with that 15, Angie,
Yes.
you spot something that you are very familiar with. Sort of flicking just for a second behind the bed, barely noticeable, you see a long, furry tail.
Oh, I think instinctively, with her peg leg, Angie's gonna grab onto Blueberry's tail just as she's about to hit the window. Don't.
What?
We got a fucking cat.
Oh,
You didn't tell us Lucy has a fucking cat.
There's a cat.
Do I remember a cat?
Lucy did not have a cat last you remembered.
there shouldn't be a cat. There, what? What's a cat?
A cat is the devil incarnate. You think that dog over there was bad? This cat won't just kill you. It'll play with you first. You know, tear off a couple limbs, throw you around a bit. In your case, maybe nip off your tail a bit, throw you around. We should not be in the same room as a cat.
So cats are really bad and they eat a lot of us? Like a lot. And not always even because they're hungry, but because they think it's fun and then we're dead.
Exactly.
You can't reason with a cat.
Okay. Oh, does a cat know how to open windows?
Maybe.
I can't see Lucy in there at all. I can just see like the tail kind of moving around.
You don't see Lucy, but you see the bed, and there is a small hill, human-shaped, underneath the covers area.
All right. I might have an idea.
What is it?
Okay. I'm trying to think of a way I can distract the cat, basically, with something and, like, get it out of the room in some way.
What if we tapped on another window to try to get it out of her bedroom?
Would it be easy to find the room on the other side, like across the hall?
For a creature that could fly, it would be super easy.
I can just hop over the roof, go to the other side of the window and go, ah! And maybe I'll get the cat to come over there. And then when that does, I'll stay over there because the cat won't be able to get the window. And if it does, then I'll fly away and you guys can knock on the window and try to get her up.
Do cats fly?
Not yet.
Okay.
Just making sure.
If you hear a big screeching sound, like of my voice, then things have gone really bad.
Just make sure you don't stay too close to the window, just in case they have figured out how to open it, because I wouldn't put it past the cat to be able to figure out how to open the window.
Smart. Okay. Good luck, everyone. And
Oh, good luck.
Shu's gonna give both of you a quick hug before flying off, and flutters up and tries to go straight across to the other side.
Sure, you fly over the tile roof and you see the swoop around the chimney, fly down to the other side, and the room on the other side is well lit. You peek in, you fly up to the window, and you see a room that looks like a library. There's walls covered in books. There's a chandelier, but it is not super bright, but there is like one candle lit on a little holder that is on one of the bookshelves that's illuminating that room enough for you to see pretty clearly. There is also a person in the room. A small human who seems to be very carefully, one by one, pulling on the books.
You said this is a small human?
I mean, they're all pretty massive, but it's not quite as big as
Right,
the average
right.
human.
Not like the parents that we saw,
No, much smaller than the parents that you saw.
but okay.
Maybe a gnome or something? Like,
Yes.
Gnome.
Must be a gnome.
must
All
be
right.
a gnome.
For the windows, are they the ones that open fully, kind of like doors, like you crank them open and they open? Or are they sliding where there's like a little ledge?
Sliding.
Okay. Can I land on that top part of the ledge
Mm-hmm.
instead of at the very bottom where it opens?
Yeah,
Good idea.
Yeah.
Cool. I would like to then, in full intelligence mode, to make a ruckus, fly directly into the window.
Amazing.
All right, you kabang, fly right into the window. Couple things happen all at the same time. The two of you see this thing. It's almost like a shadow. Even in the light of the hallway, it is so fast that you barely see it. But a creature lift and like jump into the air for a second, and then even before it hits the ground, its body has rearticulated into a leaping position. It grabs onto the bed with its claws and launches out the door like a shadow of death.
Oh, wow.
I told you they were the devil incarnate.
The other thing that happens is Shu, the little person that was like pulling open the books. You see them drop one of the books and jump back, and you hear, "Ah!" And you see a young human child look around, walk up to the window, open the window,
No!
I ride like an elevator up.
stick her head out to try to see you. She goes, wah, 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 wah.
Oh, yeah.
But she's waving at you like you're a person.
I'm going to lean over the edge, and I'm going to use my little wing and wave back.
She's going to try to grab you.
I allow it.
You allow it?
This little meaty human hand that has some like stickiness on it from some like candy that was just hiding grabs onto you and holds you right up to her massive face. Your head could fit into one of her nostrils. And with a breath that smells of peppermint and old candy,
Old candy.
she goes, wah, 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 wah.
I'm going to start chirping very loudly.
Shh, shh. And she puts her hand up to her mouth. Shh, 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 shh. And she points to the door. Shh. And she opens her hand and she tries to pet you.
I will lay on my belly so they can pet my back. I'm going to try to be very docile here. I'm going entirely off of Blueberry's recommendation that the small human that Blueberry knows is very kind and loving.
She looks around. She rubs your belly for a second. She looks up. She puts you in her pocket.
Can I have my little thumbs hooking out on the outside of
Yep.
it? Okay.
She closes the window, like looks around and takes the candle and starts to creep back to the bookcase. And we're going to cut for a second to Blueberry and Angie. You saw the cat leap out of the room. What do you want to do?
The cat's gone. Do we knock?
All right. No, because the cat might come back if we knock. Can I see like a branch or something we can kind of try and shimmy, or will it be just too heavy for one of us to try and like open the window?
No.
Okay.
Windows, it's not impossible. It would be hard, but it don't be impossible.
All right.
I wonder how sharp my little toothpick is.
You could try and like scratch a little hole in it, like like they do when they're stealing diamonds.
Oh, maybe I could try that with my fang.
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
All right, we're going to call that a thieves' tools check, I think.
Yeah.
Thieves' tools.
I hope it's not big glass.
Are you proficient in thieves' tools?
No.
All right, so this is going to be a d20 plus your dexterity.
Okay.
10.
With a 10, taking a little bit of time, you start... Creak! And you hear a crack, and one of the little square panels of her 4-square window just cracks open, and a whole bottom part of it just falls inside. It clink, 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 lands in her room. The window is now broken and open.
Uh-oh.
Hey, well done, Blueberry.
Oh, the cat.
It's like you've done it before.
Oh, I haven't, but now I will. If I ever need to get in somewhere I'm not supposed to be.
Learning new skills every day.
As you guys start to creep your way under that broken glass into the room, Shu, you can't see super clearly what this human is doing, but it seems like she has found what she is looking for. She pulls one book out and goes, aha! And then sort of puts her hand over her mouth, takes the candle, and then you guys see the door open wider, and candle in hand, you see Lucy walk into her room, blow the candle out, run over to her bed, pull the blanket up, knock a bunch of pillows on the ground,
Classic.
Sneaky.
and then you see her pull something out of her pocket, and you see her put it in a jar and close it.
Oh, no.
And
No, no.
Shu, you feel yourself land in a little jar, and you see a lid close shut, and you see Lucy looking at you, Shu, and going, shh. Wah, 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 wah. She opens up one of her dresser drawers, and you guys see Shu in this jar get put in a dresser drawer,
Oh, no.
and the drawer close.
My God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Shu, what you see around you
Yeah.
is basically a little terrarium. There is a jar there has a stick in it and some moss, and some leaves, and it looks like a couple pieces of pear. There's some air holes in the top.
Oh,
top
what a
of it.
relief.
I was gonna say, you got a timer.
This is an audio recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want everyone to know the look of horror on my face when you
Oh, yeah.
described me being dropped into a jar where my jaw dropped and my eyes got massively large and terrified that I have made a massive mistake. And Shu is now trapped.
And you see Lucy looking around, taking the book, putting it under her pillow, and then sort of quickly pulling the blanket up and closing her eyes tightly as if she's gonna look like she was asleep. The drawer that Shu got put in is you would know this, Blueberry, is the drawer where Lucy keeps all of her secret stuff that she doesn't want her parents to know about, and it's where she keeps all the bugs she catches. It's where she keeps just her private things.
Like Mr. Bat.
Yeah.
Horrified. Blueberry is gonna try to make her way over to Lucy on the bed and kind of gently nudge her with her little snake nose, kind of gently boop her.
Make an animal handling check.
I love that.
That's a dirty 20.
As you boop her on the nose, she like goes to rub her nose, and then she like creaks an eye open. And at first she's like confused. She like looks around, looks down at you, and sits up, scoops you up very gently in her hand. Wah wah, Blueberry. Wah wah. What do you do?
Am I the one with the crystal?
Oh, yes, I tied it around your neck with the ribbon. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to bite the crystal, like bite the string that the crystal is on and drop it in her hand.
She like looks at it. While holding you, she like gets out of bed, closes the door to her room, and locks it. And then just gives you a really big squeeze. And then like tries to not squeeze you tight.
That's real tight.
And she takes the crystal. This little spark of light crackles out of it for a second. And then that green glow that it had fades. And it becomes almost clear. How did you find me?
Lucy, I can understand you.
Blueberry, you can talk!
I can understand you.
How did you learn to talk? Where did you go?
It was the crystal. It was. I don't have a lot of time, but can you let my friend Shu out of your secret drawer?
Mommy and Daddy said you were going on snake vacation.
Classic.
Yeah.
You put a shoe in the drawer? You don't have feet.
No, the little. I know. The bat.
Oh, Mr. Bat. I kept him safe, so Mommy and Daddy don't throw him away.
Oh, Mr. Bat is a friend of mine and really wants to come out. Her name is Shu.
Oh, okay. You guard the door. And she's gonna put you on the ground for a second by the door.
I'll stand up and guard the door.
She walks over, poof, 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 lifts open the drawer, opens open the glass. Mr. Bat, are you a shoe?
Hi.
You can also talk.
I'm Shu.
She dumps the jar out with you and the toys on her hand. How come all the animals can talk now?
Ta-da!
Shu does jazz hands.
It's nice to meet you, Shu. Shu, did you bring my friend Blueberry back from snake vacation?
Snake vacation? Blueberry, you were on vacation?
I didn't know it was a vacation. It was a very weird vacation.
We weren't in a... Well, we did have a nice meal in the alley.
Yeah. And there were some rats that tried to beat us up, and then we beat up some capybaras. I found a soup can to stay in for a little bit.
Snake vacation doesn't sound very fun.
No, I don't really want to go on snake vacation anymore. But these are my friends. This is Shu and Angie.
Angie's on the window ledge still, just...
A little bird!
Hi.
Hi! What happened to your foot?
Listen, sometimes it's rude to ask personal questions.
Can I put a sticker on it?
What kind of sticker?
I have a lot of stickers.
I'll take... If it's holographic, I'll take a sticker.
I don't know what that kind is, but I have all of these. And she sort of just like sweeps the counter with an arm, the size of a bus. Papers fall onto the ground, and you see stickers of all sorts. There's little rainbows. There's ones of little monsters. There's ones of animals. There's ones of plants. There's ones of writing in human.
I'm going to point at, like a shiny heart.
An excellent choice.
Thanks.
I like the hot ones.
They're good.
And she peels it off and very, very carefully sort of wraps it around your your peg leg. Your clothespin leg.
I'm gonna kind of strut my stuff a little bit on the window ledge, like yeah.
Now it's beautiful like a princess leg.
A princess leg.
No one's ever called me a princess before.
What are you guys doing here? Are you going to live in my house? You want to live in my secret drawer? That's where I keep my bugs.
Oh, could they live in the drawer? I don't know if they want to live in a drawer.
We're here to find our god, remember?
Oh yeah. We found the god that feeds other animals that live outside was taken away, and the family picture was the letter that we found left behind by the big scary humans that took away our god.
You mean like mommy and daddy's work papers?
Yeah.
Then it was probably for mommy and daddy's work.
Do they take people?
I don't know. There's lots of people that come places, and sometimes the men come in big suits, and they're all serious, and mommy and daddy have to talk to them all serious, and sometimes they're nice, and sometimes they're not nice. Lately, though, mommy and daddy have been getting a lot of letters. Not as many people, mostly letters.
What kind of letters?
Ones that come from the postman, but the funny postman.
Oh, the funny postman. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
he's the new one. He's funny. He walks like this, and then she sort of like moves her body like a weird, goofy marionette.
What?
I don't understand.
I
The
don't
funny
know
postman.
What?
either.
I don't know. He's funny. He walks like this. And she does this weird marionette dance again. He comes every morning and he has special letters for mommy and daddy. And then they sit in the office and then they yell. And sometimes they yell at each other. And sometimes they yell at other people. And then they give the letters to the regular postman in the afternoon.
Are there any letters left?
Sure. Probably. They keep them in the office.
But we couldn't read them anyway, even if we did get to them.
I can read them. I'm
Oh,
very good at
who's
reading.
thinking of
I
reading?
have this book right here. I'm not allowed to read it yet. And I took it.
What's in the book? Why'd you take it?
Naughty pictures.
Someone's getting an early biology lesson.
It's the title, Everybody Poops. Would you be able to read us the letters that your mum and dad shout about?
Yeah, I can read all the letters. A, B, C, all of them.
Oh,
Oh no.
the one. Okay, what the one? Because I don't know how. I think this crystal thing only lasts about 10 minutes.
That's like 100 years.
This to be
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
I can take you to mommy and daddy's office if you want.
Yeah, can we get there really quick?
You want to meet Mr. Bojangles Sangles?
Maybe after.
Who's that?
He's my new pet. Mommy and daddy got him after you went to the vacation.
Yeah, no. No. Mm-mm.
No, let's meet them afterwards.
He's very fuzzy.
Uh,
And sometimes he brings me dead lizards.
Yeah. No. You
Yeah, it's
see,
gross.
I don't think Mr. Bojangles, or whatever his name is going to be very friendly with us. So I think maybe we should just go to the office and have a look at the letters that you can read. Because you're so clever. I want to see how clever you are by reading all the letters and that, you know?
Leslie's so clever.
Okay, but shh, we have to be quiet.
Okay.
Mommy and daddy are at the opera, but we're not supposed to be up. Yeah, and if Anthony finds me, he's going to make me go back to bed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We'll be shh.
Okay. And then she opens the door very loudly. Ka-goom! Shh. We're on a secret mission. I am the animal speaker,
It's so funny.
and they are my champions. And then she sort of starts like secret marching and doing like as if she's like going under traps and stuff as she makes her way down the hallway.
Are we just walking after her in a small parade?
I'm fully on her shoulder. This is fine. Just perching.
I'm wrapping myself around her ankle.
All right. You make your way down the hallway, and you get to her parents' office door. She looks at you guys. She opens the door. You guys make your way in. She turns on the gas light in the room, so the little lanterns in the walls, boom, light. And you see a large office, filing cabinets, 2 big desks, quills, papers in stacks, all sorts of things. And she basically points at a box that has some manila envelopes in them.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, those are the letters that come from the funny postman.
Oh.
Could you read one?
Sure. Climbs up on the chair, picks one up, tears the envelope open.
It's fine.
dumps
With flair.
dumps the paper on the ground. There's sheets of paper sort of scatter.
Yeah.
She says, okay. She picks up one of the letters, and she proceeds to start to read it to you. And it sounds like it is a letter that is from a general demanding that the local representative reach out to this diner, this coffee shop, and this bakery, and have their head staff member pulled to work at the military camp. They have to put together the paperwork and send out the local officers to let them know, give them a week or so to prepare for things, and then get on over there. And she reads it to you guys, and then she puts the paper down. And then I would like everybody to either roll me a perception or an investigation check.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. For a 14.
I got a 4.
I got a 13 investigation.
With a 13 and below, it's mostly just just human letter. But on a 14, you notice something. For one, the whole thing just is a little off. Literally. If the paper, the writing on it is almost off-center. But the other thing that you notice is that on the bottom of the page, barely noticeable to someone of human size, but to you, pretty noticeable, if you know to look for it, is some writing. But this writing is not in human. You can just read this. This side up.
Angie's rusty cogs are turning, and the description of the weird postman, kind of marionette style, walking and delivering these letters to her mum and dad, them arguing about it, and then them having to basically do whatever is written on the letters. And it's all around bakeries and food places and restaurants. And she...
Oh my god.
I think
Seriously?
the postman is 6 rats in a trench coat.
Oh,
No.
Stuck on top of each other?
I think the rats are giving this paper to the humans to close down these places because they want to monopolize on the food light, innit?
What? How are they? But they write human?
Those dirty rats!
I don't know how they got the human writing, but look, there's definitely rat writing down there. Look at that. Look, that's definitely rat writing.
Holy shit.
I think we need to find the rats and put a stop to this weird shit.
We do. If we stop their operation, then they'll stop taking people. They'll stop taking people like our baker god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lucy, is there any more letters that came in like this?
All of them are right here. And she points at the stack of 3 or 4 manila envelopes. But they come in a lot. Maybe a couple a day.
Okay, you need to throw them in the fire.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yes.
I will burn it all.
Burn it all. Burn it all. And the funny postmail man. Don't take any letters that come in from funny postmail man.
You know what you could do? The funny postman would really like to meet Mr. Bojangles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Bojangles doesn't like the funny postman.
Hmm.
He makes hissing noises at him.
Yeah, because he's hiding lots of like mice and rats and stuff in like his pockets. That's why Mr. Bojangles don't like him. So you should try and like get the rats out next time he comes.
But he's so tall.
Toss him. Toss Mr. Bojangles.
Yeah. Make him hold Mr.
The postman probably could catch.
Okay, before we go any further, let me just make sure I understand what my animal talking friends are telling me I should do. I gotta stop burning all the letters.
Yeah.
Yes,
Indiscriminately.
Yes.
It's all letters.
Burn all letters.
Burn it all. And then I started throwing my cat at the postman.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the one that walks funny.
I can do both of those things.
Yeah, just the one that
The funny walking
the
one.
The funny walk.
The funny
Yeah.
walk is not a good human.
Blueberry, I miss you. You have so much wisdom
I miss you too.
that you got from this vacation.
Could I come back and live with? Could my friends live with us too? I want to come back, but I want my
Yeah,
friends.
of course. But you have to live in my drawer, or mommy and daddy might send you to vacation.
What about in the attic?
Hey, Blueberry, maybe like you can like just visit. Like you could get a house like nearby, and then you could come round and like visit whenever you want, and then you wouldn't have to worry about like the parents and stuff. You know?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just don't wanna leave you guys either.
You gonna have to leave?
We have to go save people.
It is the animal way.
Yep.
I need to go with them, but I'll come back somehow. There's a hole in your window now that I can come through.
That's so smart. That's a good idea. And do you know? And if you want, you can live. Listen, I'll keep you a secret. I'll keep you safe in my drawer. Or if the drawer's not enough space, we can put you under the bed. Mr. Bojangles hangs out there all the time when he doesn't want to see other people.
I don't think Mr. Bojangles is gonna like me because a lizard. If he's bringing you lizards, I'm pretty much a lizard without legs.
Yeah, but you're so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. I think you and Mr. Bojangles will be great friends. The times you would have.
They would be so great, but so short.
Do you know? Can you call Mr. Bojangles in here right now?
Yeah, sure, but he doesn't listen to me. Mr. Bojangles!
Just make sure he doesn't hurt us.
And she runs to the door, opens it, and as loud as she can, she yells, Mr. Bojangles!
Uh-oh.
no. How many other people is this gonna
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You start to hear footsteps.
Lucy, no!
Wah, 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 wah. And you see a human, tall, massive, at least as large as her parents, wearing a very nice looking vest. And he looks down at Lucy. Wah, 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 wah. And she puts her head down and she goes, I'm sorry, I'll go back to bed. But can I bring my friends?
Oh.
Oh shit.
And,
No.
Oh shit.
and he goes, whoa, whoa. And she goes, never mind. And you just see him, and even though you don't speak human, you can see he's just like, okay. Like, as he leads through, it's the universal, like, uh-huh. And she leans back and kind of, like, reaches for you guys and tries to, like, ball you guys up in, like, the side of her, like, nightgown pocket, so hopefully he won't see. Anthony beckons for her to get into her bed, and then he, like, puts the covers over her, wah, 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 wah. And then he starts to make his way out, and just as he makes his way out, you see a dark shadow enter the room as the door closes. And you hear a voice. Lucy, I didn't know that you could talk. And
Oh, God.
slowly rising up the side of the bed, jet black, save for a symbol that almost looks like a white heart on its chest and little bits of white on its paws that hide massive talons, huge golden yellow eyes. A cat. Lucy, it's so cool that you can finally talk. And she's like, whoa, you sound so weird and old.
Why do you sound like a villain? What's happening?
What a compliment.
He says, I have killed many for you, and I will kill many more, my maid.
Bananas!
And then, oh,
Damn it,
Stands
Blueberry.
Well, if he knows that he's not allowed to kill us, right? This is the time we gotta tell him. Let's see.
and he looks up at Lucy and he says, Lucy, for the past week and a half, I have been your agent of death in this realm. I have been put in your household. You, as my maiden, and I, your knight, I have slain many in your honor. We know that this is the relationship that all cats have with humans. We kill. Let me slay these beasts on your behalf. Every muscle in my body is ready to tear them shred from shred and place them upon your bed or your feet or in your shoe so you step in it when you're not expecting it. As all good cats do. And Lucy goes, I don't think you should kill these guys. This is not the way.
This will now be the way.
You heard the girl. No killing of innocent civilians moving forward.
And then he looks up at Lucy. Lucy, is that really true? And Lucy looks down at him and she kind of ticks her head and she goes, wah, 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 wah.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
And then he looks back at you and says, no cat worth their merit just kills, of course. It's an art form, a game. So tell me, little creatures, why shouldn't I play with you?
Because we have information to help you protect her better.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Did you know your home has been invaded many times by rats?
rats!
That's how we feel.
They are the absolute most wonderful thing to slay.
We'll make you a trade for information to let us live and leave alive.
If this information leads to the slaying of rats at my hand for my mistress, the great Lady Lucy, then I shall make that trade with you, foul creature of the night.
Say she's foul, but
All creatures other than cats are foul.
yeah.
Well, you know that weird-looking postman that comes down every day?
Yes, the funny-smelling one.
You do realise he's actually made up of several rats.
In a trench coat.
That's why he walks funny.
You see him, sit back for a second. And for the first time that you're interacting with him, the predator, that thing where he's looking at you like, I'm gonna strike, fades just a little bit as he has, a bit of an internal moment.
Search your instincts. You know it to be true.
Imagine how many rats that would be all in one
It's a lot of rats.
dance of claw and viscera.
They would tell stories of your greatness. Even the people would talk about it.
I could fill every shoe in the manor with dead rat pieces.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so great. So great.
They'll love it.
Not a bed ungifted. Not a mat left unadorned.
Okay.
I shall paint the walls of this house
Oh, you're really into this.
And what did you want of me in return of this glorious information? Freedom? The chance to live?
Yeah, just help us get out, maybe.
Deal.
Do we shake on it?
No. Gross.
Oh, then you want a hug. And Shu will go up to try to give Bojangles a hug.
With a speed that is uncomfortable for how large this creature is,
Yeah.
he is suddenly on the other side of the room, on top of the cabinet, hissing.
Fair.
All right, we'll ask for consent next time, you know.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I should have asked. I'm very sorry. And Shu will bow.
Yes, that's the choice I'm going to go with.
And he meets your bow.
Ah,
Where would you like to leave? Up here, downstairs, or perhaps into the basement?
If the rats come in the front door, should we follow their pathway back out?
You could, but the house is guarded at night by a foul beast, a wretched hound, a demon of the gate.
Oh, we saw it.
He's a big butthead.
Yes, I despise him.
well, she might know this. Do you know where the Randy Dandies hang out?
Scavenger dandies.
The scavenger.
Handy dandy.
You would know this, and Shu would know this too, because Shu was from the Scavenger Dandies originally. They live in the sewers. The sewers is their domain.
Would the basement have pathways that lead to the sewers?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Well, if we can't follow their pathways out, I guess we can just flush ourselves down to where they are.
If there's any entrance to the sewers in the basement, that's probably the best bet.
Mm-hmm.
I can lead you that far.
Then no one will know that you let us go, and we won't tell anyone either, and say that you are a great protector of the house and that we are very scared of you.
After the violence that I shall spread through the realm with the amount of rats I will slaughter for them to take up the body of a man, nothing else will ever be remembered in all the land.
It's true.
Come with me. He goes to the door. Lucy! If you'd please.
Yeah.
So, from Lucy's perspective, it's just like a cat going, meow.
That was a really good impression. That's very good.
Lucy gets up, opens the door, and Mr. Bojangles starts to saunter down the hallway. As you guys leave, Lucy looks at you, Blueberry, and picks you up one last time and just sort of rubs her face against you.
I'll stick my little tongue out. Give her a little lick on the cheek.
She looks at you. Wow, wow. Gives you a little kiss. Puts you down.
No.
And you guys make your way, following Mr. Bojangles, down the hallway, down some stairs, avoiding staff that are working in the kitchen, and just the general movement of the house. Down some cellar stairs where you see large wine racks, stone columns. It's a very old, almost dungeon-looking cellar. And in the base of it is a large metal grate. There is enough space for the three of you to squeeze down and make your way into the sewers.
I guess this is the pathway we can take, because all sewers lead to the mega sewer.
It's true.
Oh,
All right. I guess I should go first. I'm the biggest, kind of.
are we gonna need like weapons or anything?
Hey, we fought them capybara, innit? So we should be alright. I think we'd be alright. You've got your dagger, you got your teeth. Do you still have your spork?
A spork.
I think we're alright.
All right. I'm a little scared of not being able to sewer sounds like water. I'm a little scared of not being able to swim.
Is there I'm gonna look for a wine cork really quick.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of discarded wine corks and even some empty bottles and
Turns
stuff.
out
Seems
Lucy's
like
parents
some
are
folk getting some-
alcoholics.
Yeah,
Not a problem.
Fabulous. I'm gonna grab a cork and try to hook it onto my back with some of that thread.
All right, everyone's armed and have their water wings.
Well, I got wings.
That can work.
Before you go, Mr. Bojangles looks to you, Blueberry. I shall respect you as a bringer of information. And if you do want to return to this house, I will not destroy you.
That's good. I'll take that. And you take care of Lucy. She means a lot to me.
This is her home. And I shall protect her with my every last claw.
I'm glad she has you.
Goodbye. And he scurries away.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
You guys climb down the grate, and what you see below you is a tube that goes down into darkness.
Okay, bottoms up. I can go first if everyone would like that.
Who can see best in the dark? I guess it's you, Shu.
Well, maybe not see, but I have a good general awareness of where things are.
Sounds good to me.
Keep your corks on because there is gonna be a nice little pool at the bottom. And you probably also, when you jump, want to close your mouth because you don't want to drink it when you land in it. It's kind of a mixed bag. Well, it's kind of a mixed toilet, actually, what you're falling into. So I would just keep the closed and you'll have a much better time going down.
That I think Angie's just gonna hug extra tightly like a cork that she's picked up.
All right, all of you get your little floaties hold tight and leap into darkness. And you fall for about half a second before whoosh, you hit rapidly moving water as whatever this tube is turns, and you are riding this thing like a log flume, shooting down turns, bumping over edges. There's times where the water sort of rolls up the side, and you're all sort of like, riding up the side of it. And then it slows down, and as the tube opens up, the water sort of extends out into a large basin. And you see a huge hallway sewer with many of these tubes similarly opening up into it. The walls of it are heavy old cobblestone that look worn. It is dark, but not so dark that you guys can't make out the general area. On either side are these walkways made of similar stone that are massive. They're built for humans to walk on them. And at the center, going down this hallway, is a large, essentially, river of sewage, slowly moving. It is not horribly gross. It's not like piles of filth. It looks kind of just like water, and it smells like old wet stone more than it smells like anything vile here. This is the sewer under like the fancy houses, so it's not nearly as packed a population. And the sewer runs deeper into the city like a river, and every 30 feet or so there is another one of these tubes and a little gully in the catwalk. Shu, you would know, just from your experience of being down here, that if your goal is to get to, like, the main thoroughfare, you follow the river. You follow the flow of the water.
Now we just get to do the lazy river and just hold on and enjoy the dark view. It'll be good, I promise. Just everybody stay close because sometimes there are like little travels that go one way or another and they split up. You just have to stay in the middle and you'll be safe. And we should get to where we want to get to.
Should we attach ourselves, like use a little bit of the string and like connect our wine corks?
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Okay.
I love that blueberry. And Shu immediately will tie one to her toe and then toss the spool of pink thread over to you, Blueberry.
Wind my head around it a little bit.
I'll try and help tie it on
Throw
for
it
you.
in my
just
mouth
like-
to Angie. Thank you.
And then like peg on the end of it onto
No
my leg,
hands.
like, done.
Long toe.
Can someone make a perception check for me?
Sure.
Oh, bad rolls for me.
Oh man. That
None of us did great.
9.
5.
Wow.
We can't see, it's too dark.
Let's go.
We're enjoying the ride. It's the vacation you were supposed to go on, Blueberry.
This is another very interesting vacation. I'm open-minded about it, though.
These sewers are not that gross. They're weirdly not that gross, one might say. In that you're like, you expected it to be this foul, everything is covered in sludge and death. It's fairly clean.
Is it because all the people are gone?
That's what you get with the 9 as the highest perception.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
As you guys are floating, tied together, who is in front?
I think Shu was in front,
Yes, I will take that.
leading the way.
Shu. There's nothing obscuring the path. It's completely clear down the river. But you notice, just barely notice, that coming up, the water seems to almost split into 2 different paths around something. And there's a spot in the middle that it's going around where it just looks like the water is placid, like not moving at all. And the rest of it is sort of parting around that. Before you have a moment to really recognize what that could be, that area moves forward and pushes up against you. Your vision goes a little bit weird for a second as pressing into part of your wing. It's almost like you're seeing a bit of glass that wasn't there before as your hand touches something wet and slimy and translucent and starts to burn as a gelatinous cube,
Oh my god.
a creature that is kept in the sewers of the noble houses to help keep them clean,
Oh.
slowly attempts to start to engulf you. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh,
no.
We're gonna fight a gelatinous cube.
You know, this is the first time I've ever bought a gelatinous cube.
Same.
Yeah.
I got a whole 7.
13.
14.
Shu, as you feel this massive creature slowly lurching towards you, it is about the size of like a bus compared to you. You get to act before. What would you like to do?
It's bad. It's very, very bad.
And not liking this touch, she'll kind of screech and squirm a little bit. I would like to do Gust of Wind
Okay.
as a quick reaction. It is a strength save. It's an 11. I got it.
That's a 12. So unfortunately, 11 is not enough.
Dang
You got
it.
a 12. So you push your wind against it, and its whole body just kind of like ripples like jello.
I'm going to quickly move back as quickly as I can in this moment.
So the way that this is going to work,
Mm-hmm.
because you're in water,
Yeah.
if you're trying to move away from it, going upstream,
Yeah.
for every 4 feet you can normally move, you're going to move 1 foot.
All right.
If you are trying to move in water with the flow of water, you can choose to basically move double speed.
That makes sense. I'd like to at least create some, well, I'm just going to try to create some distance. I know that's probably going to provoke an opportunity attack, but Shu is just terrified in this moment. So I normally have 30 walking speed. So I would like to take, yeah.
We'll round up to 10.
Okay, we'll take 10 back.
All right. As you sort of swim against the current to get back, part of the cube ripples and this lumpy pseudopod sort of extends out to try to paw at you. And it almost looks like it's sort of not hitting you so much as almost like rapidly growing out to try to consume and pull you in, but it just barely scrapes against you. That is a 13 to hit.
Does not hit.
And you get out of the way.
You have to get back from it. It's really bad. It's like a gross pet that they keep here, and we need to not let it touch us.
Gross pet.
Amazing. Blueberry, you are up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use a dagger attack first on it. And that is a 22.
Oh, yeah. This thing is easy to hit. It's literally like stabbing a wall. So you stab into it.
So that's 4 points of damage.
And don't forget your Gloomstalker stuff.
Yeah. I get another attack. Okay, I'm gonna sweep again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a nat 20, baby.
Nice! Good start.
25.
Let's go.
Woo, woo, woo. 14.
14? Nice.
That's really good.
14 points damage.
Yeah.
Like lightning, you stab into this thing twice.
With that second stab, she's gonna, before she goes in with that second swipe, or with her tail, with her tail holding onto it, she's gonna spit on the dagger to leave a little bit of her venom and swipe in, and as she cuts in, she casts Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Very cool. And it becomes your prey. It doesn't like immediately seal up. It does sort of start to like leak out, like from the membrane. Gross, sort of translucent goo.
I'm gonna try to, I want to keep my buoy, my cork in between me and the gelatinous cube, so I'm just kind of trying to tread water away from it.
Tread.
Okay.
As best we can.
As best.
Awesome. Angie.
Hello. I think because Angie's at the back, I think she is going to try basically to help pull us away and to the side, around, so we can try and like get onto the wall or onto the, the little lip, the pathway that's on the side of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if I can kind of basically swim/drag everyone, because we're all attached by the rope, to the side.
Okay. Make a, unless you think something else would be good for swimming, make an athletics check.
Probably not. I think that's probably it. A 9. I haven't rolled anything over a single digit this entire game.
Angie's having a rough session.
Come on.
You start trying to pull them. It's just too heavy. They're just too heavy. You can't direct them.
I can't really do. None of my bonus actions are helpful, but I will just move in general as far as I can.
The gelatinous cube is going to slowly move forward. Blueberry, you are going to see its form start to engorge and absorb the cork that you are holding on to
Oh lord.
as it tries to engulf you.
No.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Not 1 for a 6.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Dang. Okay. Angie and Shu, you guys watch as this massive cube moves forward, and you see Blueberry sink into it as it reforms its outer shell and membrane.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
And you can see, like looking through bent glass, Blueberry kind of struggling inside of it.
Oh, God.
Blueberry, as it wraps itself around you, you feel its membrane close and harden, and you feel a burning sensation start to roll over your whole body. You are restrained.
Okay.
You can't breathe.
Oh
Okay.
jeez.
You take 11 acid damage.
I'm resistant to acid damage.
That's very good. So you don't take 11 acid damage. You take 6 acid
Okay.
damage. And you feel like if you can't get out of this thing, it's going to be a lot worse the longer you stay in.
Abada.
Mathematically, one might argue twice as bad.
One would argue. One would say.
With the rest of its movement, it is going to start sludge lurching towards Angie, but it is not going to get to you as its movement is incredibly slow, and it's going to end its movement just at the edge of its ability to get in contact with you. And Angie, you and Shu can both see just on the other side of this membrane, Blueberry sort of struggling in this sludge. Next, speaking of which, is Shu's turn.
Oh no! So seeing Blueberry get taken in by this, I am going to let the water carry me back towards this, but I'm going to have my big spork in hand ready to try to shovel Blueberry out.
Get me out!
Yes.
Get me out!
As I go in with this, attacking with my spork/longsword.
If you allow the water to pull you, I'll give you advantage on that attack.
Awesome.
Nice.
I will take that. Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to use my bonus action to use Fighting Spirit to give myself advantage on attack rolls.
Well, then, if you want, because you're using your Fighting Spirit, instead of getting advantage from this extra attack, I'll let you pick. You can either add an extra damage die to this attack, if it hits, or if it hits, Blueberry will be able to use her reaction to grab onto the spore.
Oh. Okay, we're going to try to pull Blueberry out then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What does it look like when Shu enters her Fighting Spirit?
In that moment, like, you see her fix the beret and pull it back a little bit more, pulling it down so it's snug over her head. She whips out that spork. And her little chest is puffing up, trying to get a little bit bigger before she latches that spork underneath her arm so she doesn't lose it. A little shaking in her tiny thumbs. I can do this. I can do this. And she'll close her eyes as she runs forward.
Amazing.
That's so cute.
I'm very glad that I had advantage because we dodged a nat 1 there, so we have a 15 instead.
15 hits.
Yes.
The spork violently stabs into the membrane as it breaks open.
11 points of damage, going right next to Blueberry within, like, snapping distance to grab on.
All right. Blueberry, you feel a bit of air break through as this spork creates a path, and you see it, like, go right to your side.
Oh, good.
And it is now your turn.
Oh, thank God.
To grab onto it, is that movement or would that be my action?
So the way that this normally works is that a creature can make a strength check to break out. But with the spork there, you basically are making that check with advantage.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. So I'm gonna try to latch on to the spork. So a strength saving throw?
Yeah, with advantage.
Oh, buddy! Nat 20.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Nat 20s.
Sam with all the
Two
Stop.
nat 20s?
2 nat 20s. The second one was a 5.
Let's go. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, man.
That's like top tier double success. Come on. Ah.
Yeah. So nat 20 for a 22. I bite the shit out of that spork.
That's crazy.
You grab around that spork, and you and Shu have a moment where you, like, sync energy. And with Shu pulling and you pushing at the same time, you erupt out of the side of this gelatinous ooze and splash into the water next to Shu.
Nice.
You are no longer engulfed.
Hooray.
You still have a bonus action and movement if you would like to use them to do anything.
So I'm just going to try to move away. I'm going to, like, hang on to the spork and, like, swim as close as I can to back up to Shu, where Shu is.
You can get to Shu. You can even get past Shu. And since you guys are all sort of tied together, if you wanted to, you could start trying to pull Shu in Angie's direction to the side.
I think I'm like 3 o'clock to it now, roughly.
Yeah.
So you come over and then we can be like,
Perfect.
Woo.
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Start pulling to the side of it as well. Next, it is Angie's turn.
Now I've seen them free of the cube, and now I'm kind of basically going to be going in the direction of the water. I am just going to put all of my force into try and, like, get us quickly away with my wings. Splish, splish, splish. Down the water. So very quickly.
But you still have an action and a bonus action. If you want to do anything with those.
Okay, I think what I'll do then, just for good measure, as I'm looking back over my shoulder, I'm going to just again sort of like pull out a feather and kind of like fling it in the direction of the cube and just cast Chill Touch on the cube.
Okay.
For some, hopefully, necrotic damage. Oh, I got a 21.
Yes!
Yeah, that hits.
Yay!
Let's go.
And for 4 necrotic damage.
All right. The place that the feather hits kind of darkens and like hardens. It starts to crackle, sort of like when like sap hardens. The cube is going to just keep moving towards you guys. It is going to use its full movement to try to brush up against Shu and Blueberry. Angie is now the one that's a little bit farther off. And as it moves to you guys, you can feel the water sort of pull back, and you can see the area that's close to you of the membrane start to thin. So it is getting ready to try to engulf you. I need both of you to make dexterity saving throws.
13.
14.
Okay. 12 was the number you needed to beat. So as it
Nice.
tries to engulf you, you're able to pull back in time that you kind of just keep up pace with it. And that is its turn. It's just trying to engulf you and can't engulf you. Next is Shu.
That's right.
You are now about 30 feet in to scale. You are about 30 feet away from the edge, a little bit less.
Okay. But I am up close to the cube still.
Yeah, you could poke it if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're doing. Just stay away! And like, taking this spork to Jello, she just tries to mash into it as best as she can.
Okay.
It's fine.
Die!
Please die.
Boom, 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Yes.
That's good. That's another 11 points of damage then.
Wow.
As she just goes ham and furious with her eyes still tightly closed shut at that point. She just lets out these little squeals as she can't even muster words very well.
Its membrane starts to quiver a little bit. Like you can see that the whole, even though it's sort of a brainless thing, the whole body is reacting to this vicious attack. Amazing. Awesome. All right, Blueberry, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go back in with my dagger. That's dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
And then, so 4 points plus, how much is it? 1d6?
Mm-hmm.
So 9 points of damage.
Okay, very cool. But with that, Angie, you notice, it's your turn, but at the beginning of your turn, you notice the whole ooze, it's starting to shift. As if it's about to change direction. Starting to like ripple away from you.
Like retreat.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of like cockroaches or anything around?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
There's very little things there's almost nothing in the water. But you can see now that you're getting closer to the sides that there is, the regular detritus of the sewers.
I think Angie is going to shout up to one of the cockroaches and go, Hey, give us a hand, quick. And she's going to as she's pulling closer to the edge, reaching up to some of the cockroaches.
You see 2 cockroaches hello, miss. Hello. How's it going?
Yeah, I get
Cockney roaches.
Going for a swim, eh, miss? Oh, yeah. Gotta be careful swimming in this part of town. You get the slimy things come after you.
Yeah, I don't really want the slimy thing after me. Could you pull us up, please?
Oh, let me get some of my boys. Hey, Tim, Jim, Hector, Bartholomew, Catamarin, Bartleby, Siegfried, Alabaster, get over here. And you see a bunch of cockroaches sort of start making their way and climbing down and almost creating like a rope bridge
Amazing.
trickling into the water that you guys could grab onto that has lots of little legs ready to grab you.
I think Angie is going to cling on and then just sort of make sure that they've got hold of the ribbon as well, just so. And then try and like pull the others up, like get them out of the water so we can get away from the ooze.
All right, cool. Yep, so you make your way up and prepare to pull the others out. At the end of your turn, the cube is going to move back just a little bit, and these 2 pseudopod tendrils are going to sort of bloom out of its side, and it's going to try to make pseudopod attacks at our dear little Shoe and our dear little Blue.
Shoe and Blue.
The first attack is coming for Shoe.
Yes. Try it. Try it.
That is a 16.
Yep, that hits.
That is 12 acid damage.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
And then the next one is coming for Blueberry. That's gonna hit probably. That's a 19.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, squishy girl.
10 acid damage halved to 5. As the gelatinous cube seems to be taking more of an offensive stance. Next it is Shoe's turn. Shoe.
Yes.
Aside from these pseudopods coming out and whacking you, you see that Angie seems to have summoned a bunch of cockroaches.
Yeah.
And they are making a little rope bridge down over the side into the water that Angie has climbed up.
I'm going to attack again
Hell yeah.
because that seems like the right choice at this point. Why not? I'm feeling aggressive, right? She's finally let loose on this. We're gonna also use my action surge to get 2 attacks on this.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yes.
Because why not? She just
Yeah.
Let's
in
go.
that moment of fury, if I may flavor this, Shu is going to, with her bare hands and screaming motion, rip the spork in 2 and then just go ham with both. just like a small child pounding against a wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Half a spork in both.
Amazing.
Amazing.
That's how I'd like to flavor this attack. Okay, the first one's not gonna hit with an 8, so one hand is just like,
The gelatinous cube, fun fact, has an
Yeah.
AC of 8.
oh,
Hey!
perfect. I love that for us. I love that.
That's so great.
Well, the other one isn't because it's a 7. So
Okay, well, at least one is coming in though.
this is not entirely too embarrassing. That's why we miss with 1. Like one hand slips right over. It's fine. But we will take 8 points
Nice.
of damage there as she pounds again.
Nice.
Why won't it stop? Does it have like a secret password? Dandelion, daffodil, tulips. And she's just yelling out random flowers as she thinks it might be a password to make it stop.
The thing about the gelatinous cube that is probably very eerie if you haven't encountered it before is it moves like an animal, but it really seems to be almost unthinking. It is just a force. Next is Blueberry.
Her action, she's going to do another dagger attack. That's a 13.
13 hits.
Okay, there's that. And then D6. So that's 8 points of damage.
When you stab into that second time, like watching a water balloon pop in slow motion,
Oh, amazing.
the place where you stab, the whole thing almost freezes. And then a seam of this membrane you see split up the side and over the edge and peel back. And as it does, this soft inner layer starts to pour out as this massive cube deflates and just melts into clear, sloppy sludge that starts to roll down river. And you guys are out of initiative.
Woo. And it's like there's me and the little cockroach like army just like heaving you both onto dry land. Like
Yeah, the cockroaches pull you guys up, and it's weird because you guys know that insects can't talk. That's crazy. But Angie seems to just be able to communicate with them. And Angie normally talks in a wonderful tone, but when she talks to the cockroaches, you guys just hear like coming out of Angie's mouth, and it's just the cockroaches are just like back at her.
It sounds horrifying. Imagining that coming from like a beaked mouth. Like, what do you have to do to make that sound?
It's me just going, thanks, lads and ladies.
No problem, miss.
Obviously, here, and she'll take some crumbs out of her hat and like.
Oh, that's awful kind of you.
And then we just like.
Hey, it's been a while since we've had one of you talking creatures hanging out. What are you doing down here?
Well, we're trying to find the scavenger dandies like hideout, you know.
Oh, miss, they're dangerous. You gotta be careful if you're gonna mess with them.
Well, they've been messing with too much stuff upstairs, you know what I mean? So they need someone to come down and teach them a lesson.
Oh!
You know, you can help if you want. Just saying, you know, if you see any, you want to trip them up, push them into an ooze, whatever you want to do.
Nah, miss, we try to stay away from them. They mess with us. Makes the head hurts.
Ah, fair enough. What do you mean to make your head hurt?
Oh, they try to bash us and they give us headaches.
Oh. See, that's why we got to sort them out, yeah? They're too mean. They're just, they should respect every creature, no matter how big or small you are, you know what I mean?
Not really.
Anyway, nice speaking to you. Yeah, anyway. Shoo, Blueberry, let's go.
Is this our new family?
And she will waddle over and try to pick up to hug one of the cockroaches.
It like looks at you.
It's just like Bojangles.
Yeah, gotta be careful with them. They're a bit feisty. Yeah. It's all right though. If you got food, they generally don't mind.
Oh.
If you want, miss, we could get you safe passage to near where they stay.
Oh, would you? That'd be so kind.
If you got more of that food, of course.
Yeah. Here. They said, an aside to Blueberry and Shoo. They said that if we gave them food, they'd take us to the hideout. They'd give us safe passage right to the place, so we wouldn't get molested by any more oozes. You know.
Oh, I could give them the last of my crumbs.
Yeah, I think Angie and Shoo were like, "Ooh, crumbs." The last few bits.
I might have some more in my tinfoil hat. Hold on.
Yours would still be moist then, too.
Yeah.
They swarm you. You feel their like pitter patters and feet as they like scurry around and then it's just gone. And you feel like maybe even your feet are kind of clean.
I just imagine
uncomfortable.
Angie just standing there like completely chill while they're just like going all over like in her feathers and stuff. She's just like, done. That's how she cleans herself. That's how she gets a bath.
Right, miss, that was a real tasty snack you got for us. We're right grateful. Now, if you stick with us, we'll make sure you are safe all the way there. Except, of course, we're not going to take you all the way there. Like I said, we don't want to get bashed and we don't want them giving us them headaches.
It's all right. We don't want to get to the end too quickly, and then Cinder wouldn't know what to do. So I appreciate that. That's all right.
I don't know who Cinder is, but it's almost as if he has a whole third act planned that's got nothing to do with the sewers and could take up a lot of space, so it's fine either way. Pacing is kind of up to the games. It's all right.
Is there like another wall here? Like a fourth wall where we can understand?
Fantastic. Amazing.
So, Angie, as a one of those connected with the creatures of the creepies and the crawlies, and you're able to communicate with them, and they want to do right by you, and with your food offering, the cockroaches will take you fairly safely to the main sewer thoroughfare. And I will say, for the purposes of that travel, we'll say that can count as a short rest.
Ooh,
Thank
nice.
And you guys make your way through the sewers, and eventually, as you get deeper into the sewers, they start to seem more like traditional sewers. There are large chunks of like old broken carriages. There's some bones sticking out in places. It becomes much more full as you get deeper under the city, and you can hear above you at certain points like the sound of carriages and the city above. After some time of rolling with these roaches, They all sort of stop together at an area where the river becomes sort of a trickle. The catwalk side is no longer there. It becomes basically like a circular hole with a little bit of a trickle and bits of moss and stuff growing. It seems like it's a part of the sewer that's almost maybe not as connected, but it's right off of the main thoroughfare.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the roaches looks up to you, Angie. All right, miss. This is about as far as we'll take you. But I tell you, be careful. Them guys with the funny hats, trouble.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your help and everything. But don't worry about us. We can handle ourselves. I mean, you saw how they took care of that ooze, right? I mean, they were just Blueberry popped it, and not everyone could just pop an ooze.
Stabby stab.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
So we're just going to pop some rats now.
All right.
But thank you.
If you do, can we keep all their weird stuff?
Yeah, why not?
Like that big machine.
What big machine?
The one that makes all the noise that's scary. Just we can turn it on and scare everybody. Be the scariest guys in town.
I mean, let me check out the machine first, because I don't know what that is before I agree. I like to read the fine print before I sign anything. You know what I mean? It's just normal. So,
what's fine print?
Don't worry about it. But we'll find out. We'll see what the machine is. And if it's good, then you can have it.
Oh, we know what it is.
What is it?
Makes loud noise. Scares everything.
Is that all it does? It just makes noise?
What do you mean? What else is there to do?
Angie just shrugs I have no idea.
I mean, all good points.
Valid. Fine.
Yeah.
I think Angie is just going to kind of pat it on the head. Thank you again. You've been really kind. But yeah, I'll let you know what you can keep after we've cleared it out, All
right. Love you. And they scatter.
That is official. Every little NPC from here on out needs to say "love you, bye" and on the exit. This is a new requirement and a need that I have.
Yep.
All right, so you guys see this large corrugated tunnel, and it is just off the main thoroughfare. You're probably almost dead middle of the city right now.
I'm going to tell them, obviously, all the weird shit that the cockroaches said, because I understand they probably couldn't figure that out in the moment.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about a loud machine, but sounds sus to me.
I don't like it. It shouldn't be there.
Do I remember there being a loud machine?
No.
No. That's new, which is probably part of what they've been up to, because that wasn't there before. So if it's new and they're doing new things, then the new thing is probably the thing that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it need to be a loud machine?
Maybe it has to do that for loud things.
To scare other things?
Oh.
To frighten other things away?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they're closing down those restaurants. They're scaring things away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you think, maybe it scares humans?
Oh. So that just means we have to be extra brave when we go to see it. So that way, when we hear the loud noise, we can't go backwards.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
But I might need someone to hold my hand to pull me forwards.
Angie's going to hold one of your little wing hands.
Thank you.
Straighten her top hat. Puff her chest. You ready, Blueberry?
She'll wrap her tail.
Yeah, I was going to say, hold a little bit of her tail. Let's go.
I'm ready.
As you guys make your way down the corridor, for a while, there is quiet. And in the darkness of the corridor, there are these little bits of ambient light you start to spot. Some of the lichen and moss growing on the sides of this old have a little bit of bioluminescence to them. Every now and then, these veins of green and blue, almost like aurora borealis, on the walls and reflecting off of the bit of water in the cave. And it's a little bit beautiful for a moment or two. What is Blueberry thinking about right now?
She's thinking about Lucy and how she was supposed to go on a vacation, but she didn't know. and how weird that vacation was, and that she's never killed anything before. And so that was kind of, or like, like she's learning a lot of new things with these new friends, and she's feeling a little more sure of herself that she can, take care of herself and her friends.
Angie, what are you thinking about? What's Angie thinking about?
I think Angie is feeling, for the first time, kind of like a need to look after someone other than herself. The whole time she's ever really remembered in her existence is having to look after herself, and if she didn't put herself first, then she could basically die. But now there are people in her life that mean more to her than even maybe herself, and that's a new thing for her. And she's feeling very proud of so far having protected them and kept them alive, and she wants to continue to do that. And her chest is very puffed out, and she's holding very tightly onto their respective hands as she's walking.
And Shu, what is Shu thinking about?
Shu is remembering the last time that she was down here. In fact, feeling incredibly uncomfortable of what feels familiar and what doesn't feel familiar. In fact, she kind of shifts back and forth between looking at the beautiful walls to closing her eyes yet again, trying to pretend she's somewhere else as she just follows Angie's lead, getting pulled along at this point. Really uncomfortable being back in this space. The smell, the dim lights, that just all reminds her of where she used to be.
And after walking for some time, you guys hear a sound that you are all familiar with, at least a little bit, maybe except for Blueberry. A skitter, a very specific skitter. That of a rat.
What is that?
It's one of them. It's one of them.
It's a big mouth.
You guys quickly pull to the side, get very quiet, and coming from the direction that you are going, lumbering down the corridor, coming out of the darkness, first you just see two little glowing eyes, and then two more, as two rats start scurrying down, little bowler hats, two members of the scavenger dandies. One of them you recognize, Shu. This is a real scumbag of a scavenger dandy. This guy was very scary. Some of them kind of thought having a kid around was kind of fun. And they would sometimes have moments of not being mean to you, you know. The one that you see is old Tony. If Tony had a childhood, that part of his existence is cut out. And he seemed to be a rat that was always about business and always very violent as a problem solver. The other one you don't recognize, but there's always new rats coming and going. They haven't noticed you guys yet. If you want, you can just let them pass, but if you want to interact with them, you also can.
Shh. I don't think we should bother them. This old Tony, he uses a very large stick sometimes, and he kicks things, and we shouldn't bother him unless we really need to.
You can kind of feel Shu shivering almost underneath your wing at this point, Angie.
I think despite that urge to want to inflict justice on this person for having hurt Shu, I think she knows it's better to let them go and get as far in as possible without causing a ruckus or being seen first before we start kicking ass. So
They're just not very nice down here. I don't know why he's out doing rounds. He's a real bully.
it's all right. We'll get our own back on him soon. Don't worry.
Blueberry is gonna slither behind Angie and very, very gently coil around Shu, like her own little snake hug, and just give her a little squeeze.
It's gonna be okay. We're here with you. It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be okay.
She will kind of just sink down into it. Just only so
No,
you
I
just
want
see
a
her
giant
little,
snake hug.
yeah, her
I
little
could give you a
frosty
snake
nose
hug.
sticking out.
Yeah.
Cute.
As they go past you guys and get to the part where they enter into the main sewers, the one that you don't recognize looks to Tony and says, "So where we going tonight, boss?" And Tony looks at him and snaps and says, "Use your head." "I'm not used to it yet." And he goes, "Use it!" And then the rat just looks at Tony. And Tony just looks at it for a second. They don't say anything. And for a little moment, there's like a spark of something in their eyes. And then, almost in unison, they turn to the left and scurry down the corridor.
Huh.
That's not a good sign. Most of them don't do a lot of planning, or all of them don't always do the thinking. The D&Ds have a very set process. Should we follow them? I don't like old Tony, but if they know what's up.
I don't know. I'm not sure whether we should follow him or just try and find out what they're planning. I don't know. What do you think, Blueberry?
Yeah, I think we should try to stay quiet and kind of get up the big picture idea without being seen.
All right. I think that's right. I think if we go in, see what that big machine is, maybe we can figure out what they're doing. And then we can go and find old Tony. How's that?
Yeah, we'll surprise them from above.
Yeah.
You continue down the hallway for some time, keeping to the shadows, using Shu to guide. And Shu, you've been to a lot of this place before. You don't know what big machine they're talking about, but you know sort of the main spots of their den. The one thing that is different about the place, noticeably, is all of these little bits of moss that are glowing every now and then.
Oh, they've really upgraded the joint then.
And you start to notice like little bits of it in the water too.
Can I go up and kind of like flick my tongue over the moss
Yeah, sure.
to investigate it?
Yeah, make an investigation or a nature or a survival check.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
It doesn't taste different, doesn't feel different than ordinary moss. And then there is this little moment where there is like a little bit of a jolt. It doesn't hurt. It just feels tingly. Almost like pins and needles. But it goes away quite quickly. But it's weird, but you don't know, you're not sure what this is. But it's definitely weird.
Drugs. It's all drugs.
Okay. So with speech of beast and leaf, I can communicate in a limited manner with beasts, plant, and vegetation.
Oh.
That's cool.
Can I try and... Obviously, it's moss. I'm not expecting anything intelligent from the moss. But can I get, like, I don't know, like, vague sort of, like, senses or emotions or something from...
It can respond in as much of a way as it can respond.
I think Angie's just gonna be like, What? What are you? I've never seen glowy moss before.
There is this very faint pulse that emanates from the side that you spoke towards that sort of like almost like pings in and then pulses out. And as it pulses out, parts of the pulse fade, but parts of the ripple extend and sort of bend around the hall.
Ooh.
I think we should follow the moss. And I think Angie is just gonna follow where the light is kind of like leading around the corner.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be brave, and we're gonna trust you, and you're gonna be our new best friend. And she's going to start petting the moss. As
Moss
one-
is so fuzzy as well,
Yeah.
so it's great.
It'll make
Thank
your
you.
tongue all tingly for a second if you like it.
Well, after Blueberry's recommendation, Shu will quite eagerly lick the moss. You just see like that, like dog-like tongue, like as she just runs it across the moss.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste like fruit or anything like that. It's moss,
She just hangs there with her tongue out.
but it does make you kind of like numb and tingly.
Have you ever put your tongue on one of those big batteries, you know?
Following these little pulses of light that seem to be responding to Angie, you turn the corner and you see them very subtly leading you down the hall a while longer and then wanting to make a right down a shaft. And Shu, you would know that the area that it's leading to is like where the rats would have their large congregation meetings. Whenever there was a big plan that needed to go down, or they were making big moves, and the bosses need to talk to like the swarm. That's the room that it's driving you towards. But before that, as you turn the corner, you see two rats, and then a third come, and they're just sort of talking back and forth, the three of them, and they see the pulses, and one of them looks up and goes, "Hey. That's kind of weird." And then one of the rats hits the one and he goes, "We're supposed to be using our heads." Sorry, old habits. And then they're kind of just like looking up at the walls and at each other, and then they scurry away.
Have they discovered fucking like telepathy or some shit?
Right, that's what I was wondering.
We're using our heads now.
Yeah, right.
Telepathic rat.
Ooh. What do you reckon? Should we get these ones?
As long as we're really careful, because if they make a noise loud enough, it'll trigger everyone. And if we're close to the big hall, well, there's no telling how many dandies could be in there. There could be no dandies, because sometimes when it's not meeting time, nobody else is supposed to be in there because, like, it's a sacred spot of sorts. But also, if it's close to meeting time, there could be a lot there nearby. And then they would easily be able to come out. And I don't know if we could take all of them. But if we do it quietly.
Would it be helpful if I went ahead a little bit? I can be very sneaky, and I could try to see if we're being led into the Great Hall or not.
Shu will grab your face and pull it close, kind of squishing it together. You can go ahead, but you have to come back, and you have to come back with one full thumb and no extra pieces. You can't get split, you can't get seen, and you cannot get hurt in any way, okay?
Okay.
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 Too adorable.
You can go.
All right, Blueberry.
All right.
Using your Gloomstalker / Boa Constrictor camouflage, you sort of just sink into darkness and become basically invisible. And for a moment, there is a little bit of freedom to traveling alone because of this. Go pretty close to those three rats, and you can see them just sort of sitting together. And then eventually, two of them scurry off down another hallway. So there's just one, and he's kind of looks like he's messing with something on the wall. Then moving past, you follow the moss, and you see a pretty large open area, like a cistern of some sort. There are no rats in it. What you see immediately is two things that are really noticeable. Well, really three. One is a giant tank, like a big circular glass tube in the center, full of dark water. Can't really see into it. On the far side of the room is a machine. Something you have never seen before. A large metal machine. It almost looks like a massive table with these huge rollers and belts and extra layers to it and large cranks.
Fucking printing press.
On the far wall, you see tiles. You're not exactly sure what they're made of, but they have bits of human writing. And then the other thing that you notice is that smashed by the side of the room is a box that looks like it was almost thrown down the cistern. Like it's like shattered onto the floor. And there are these huge canisters, but they are sort of crashed and the tops are off and they look like they're empty, or whatever has been in them has seeped out. And there is a little bit of that glow that you saw in the moss coming from those kegs, and the pulse is sort of drawing to that.
Is there anywhere like up above, like little, like divots, like little caves or like awning type?
There looks like there's like an old manhole at the top that looks like it was either covered over or something. You can see a little bit of where maybe there was like an old ladder that climbed up to it. So there's like some rungs of that ladder. And then the wall, the top of it itself, you see a couple like metal sconces that look like a torch could be put in them, but there is no torch in them.
She's gonna say, "Hello," and then turn around and slither back very quickly to her party. Is there anybody on the way back that I see?
Just the one rat, and he sort of like leaned up against the wall looking at something on the ground.
Can I see anything on the ground that he'd be looking at?
If you get close, you can. But then I'm going to have to roll something because there are other senses other than vision. He might smell you. So if you're cool with that, then yes.
Meh. I'm gonna leave him be.
All right.
I'm gonna slither back. I'm gonna slither back to Angie and Shu.
Okay. This is crazy shit.
Oh?
This is absolutely crazy. They got a whole torture chamber just down the way. I think a whole torture machine. It's metal, and they've got this like tank full of stuff. It's like one of Lucy's tanks, but I don't think anything could live in there.
Oh, torture machine.
Yeah, maybe that's what's been making all the noise. Maybe that's the loud noise maker.
So we
thing.
have to destroy it. They can't go around torturing
Yeah.
things. If we get rid of it, then they won't be able to torture anyone anymore, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But there's a one rat that's just down there, but I think he's like looking at the floor. So maybe we can take him out.
What does the rat look like?
I'm trying to see if I can recognize if that would give us some insider information about this type of rat and their preferences.
It was a smaller rat with like a weird crink in his tail, we'll say. And you would know that one as Stiletto Pete.
Nice on the fly names there, Cinderella.
Stiletto Pete was a rat that was a little bit of a... He wasn't a dumb rat, but he was one that was always very distractible.
Is he gullible?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sometimes Stiletto Pete is pretty easy to kind of guide away from situations. You just have to make sure you sound like one of the bosses, which is just kind of bossy. So if anybody could sound like one of them, we could probably tell him to go somewhere else, and Stiletto Pete would be like, okay. And then probably would get lost before actually going somewhere else because he likes shiny things and also his reflection and also pretty lights. And sometimes he likes to count his toes.
I'm pretty good at disguising myself. Would that be helpful?
Yeah! That could be great!
Yeah, maybe you could do like old Tony or something.
Yeah! They don't even need to see you because they always yell down hallways. I mean, they might need to see you, but I don't know. Maybe Pete's even dumber than before.
Blueberry's gonna she's gonna kind of fold herself to where part of her tail is like looping into two legs.
Oh my god, amazing.
Amazing.
And then she's gonna cross her tail like over, or like by her neck to make it look like arms. And she's gonna roll around in the dirt a bit and maybe pull some of the moss off and like stick it to her. And
Gonna use the thread as like the rat tail, you know, plait the pink thread to make it look like a rat tail. Done.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And then she'll take her tinfoil hat and reshape it into a bowler's hat.
We got the silhouette down. This is perfect.
Blueberry. You get yourself all dolled up to look like a weird rat.
What does he sound like? What's his name?
Oh,
What's
old Tony?
Oh, Tony, yeah. He was that big
Oh,
one that we
Tony.
saw earlier.
He's violent.
Okay.
Just use violence in your voice. You'll be fine.
Just threaten to hit him.
What does he kind of sound like?
Like
Again?
big and mean.
Like, hey, Big Tony.
Yeah.
Use your
Like-
brain.
Okay. What's that other guy's name?
Pete. It's Stiletto Pete. You can tell by his crooked
Stiletto
tail.
Pete.
And
Stiletto Pete.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She'll kind of waddle up.
With your 2 fake legs.
With 2 fake legs.
Hey, Pete. Is that you?
You see him like jump up in the air and turn and be like, "Hey, boss. Yeah, it's me. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to use my head." And then you hear a sound inside your brain. And it says, "Hey, boss, I'm using my head. Look, I'm getting pretty good at it."
Pete, you idiot. What are you doing?
What? Oh, and then out loud he says, "Wait, what? I thought I was supposed to be using my head. What? No,
You're just standing there
I'm trying to pick up the coin.
doing squat.
I'm trying to pick up the coin. Look, it's harder for some of us than others, okay? I'm not used to this yet, right? I can almost get the coin."
Go. Do I need to bring out the stiletto again? You need to go practice where I can't see you.
Oh, all right. Oh, sorry, boss.
Nice.
I'll take some big, heavy
Oh, no,
steps
it's fine.
to
You don't
sound
need
like
to get
I'm...
the shoe. And you see he's gonna like reach down and he's gonna pick up a big coin that it looked like he was like focusing on. And he's like, "Oh, practice down the hall a little bit." And he like picks up the coin and like scurries down the hall.
I can still see you.
And he runs away.
10 out of 10. 10
That was amazing. That was such a good way of getting around the fucking telepathy thing.
Blueberry, you could become an actress after this. Yeah, that was really good.
That was so
Oh,
good.
It's not
oh my
coming
God.
back at all.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad.
She'll like shake off and like melt back into a noodle.
Also,
Ugh.
what was Stiletto Pete saying? Something about using his head? That's not his specialty.
It was using his head. He spoke in my mind.
What?
Yeah. He, like, got in my head. And then he said something about practicing with a coin.
Are these rats psychic now or something? They like been able to like, you know, was it like telepathize and telekinetic and stuff?
They're telepanizing.
But I don't know how they did it. Like how they rats are dumb.
He sounded kind of silly in my head.
He's trying to evolve. Stiletto Pete's pretty dumb, but some of the higher ups of the dandies are really smart and kind of dangerous. And if they know how to use their brain, then we're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
Oh no. We better go destroy that torture device real quick then.
Yes.
yeah.
All right, you guys make your way down the hall, and all of you enter into this large open area, and you see this room with a large glass tank in the center. On the far side, this machine that's, maybe twice as large as like a massive dinner table and about as high as 2 or 3 tables on top of each other with big belts and metal and cranks, big pile of tiles. And now that you're all here, you also notice, for lack of a better term, there's like a tube that's coming out of the tank and going into like a big metal basin bucket jar thing right next to the tank. Yeah, and there's also the cracked open canisters and shattered crate. That was what the moss was pinging towards.
Okay. All right. I think then Angie would probably go towards the pinging kegs first. I feel like that's probably where she would go first. So,
I could check out the giant tank.
make sure you don't fall in though. I don't want you climbing up and getting in there and not being able to get out.
Make a investigation or an arcana check.
I got a 7 for my investigation.
Yeah.
You go over these canisters. It doesn't smell like the kind of stuff humans normally put in canisters. Normally, things in canisters either smell like water or like something like sweet, like a juice or like beer or wine. The smell here is almost like syrupy. It almost smells like trees. It's like a yeah, it's almost like an earthen smell. Shu, what are you doing during this?
As she takes in this, I'd like to actually fly up and see all of the workings of this so-called torture machine.
Yes.
To see if I can find where might be some easy pain points.
Okay. You fly up in the air. Yeah, Blueberry, give me that investigation or perception for checking out the tank. Shu, as you fly up, you notice that on top of the machine, sort of on that table, are sheets of paper. You also see that this machine looks like it is made of steel and metal and is very industrial. That being said, there is very delicate looking workings in the gearwork. There's a lot of parts that are like a small joint. There are definitely weak points in this machine. Blueberry, what did you get on your check?
A 6.
The other thing that you notice is as Blueberry rolls up to the tank and sort of looks at it and licks it and maybe pokes her nose against it, the water of the tank moves towards her, and Blueberry, you see pushing up against the tank suction cups, and then through the murkiness of the water, a large eye. And all of you see these tentacles roll up over the side of the tank as a massive octopus pulls itself up over the edge, eyes beating down. One of them sort of looks up to see you, Shu, the other one down to see you, Blueberry.
Bloody hell.
This is an unusual circumstance to see in my laboratory.
Your laboratory?
And who are you?
Dandy.
I think not.